Hello, everyone.
Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm Michael Swearingen. I am the productions manager for Johnnie Bennie Media.
And I'm Sarah Pack, and I am the manager and executive producer of Johnnie Bennie Campus News.
I'm Nick Kazmachek, and I'm the manager of KJB Radio.
And I'm Kevin Slatros, the current manager of the stream team, and we will be kind of giving you a little kind of reflection on what Johnnie Bennie Media has given us for managers in each of our branches and how we collaborate, and this whole organization now in year 2, and what it offers students in a variety of ways to improve their overall media literacy. So we'll kind of go through, we'll show you some clips and have some time at the end for Q&A. So again, thank you for joining us today on Scholarship Creativity Day. All right, so yeah, just again showing our different branches, and although they are separate, we are very much all combined with each other and are constantly helping and overlapping each other in a variety of ways.
So first, we're going to talk a little bit about our mission, and we're going to tie that into what we feel is one of the best ways to become media literate. So the main points of our mission: student run, engaging learning opportunities, fostering media literacy. Those are the things that we are set out to do, and that's the main driving force for campus news, productions, KJB, and stream team to kind of create those opportunities for students to become media literate. So, that relates us to a little thing called Sandbox-Style learning. So Sandbox is usually a term reserved for the video game industry, which is far out. But the main ideas of it are that there are minimal character limitations for a character that you play or whatever. It emphasizes roaming around, and it gives you full access from start to finish to everything you would need to succeed in the game. And we kind of drew the parallel a little bit between that style of gaming and how we have chosen to learn, what we think is the most effective way to learn media literacy. So extending the metaphor, we talk about being in the sandbox. When you're a little kid, you have this rectangular or square area filled with sand. You have these tools. You have a little shovel, you have some buckets, whatever they are. These few limitations, when you're a little kid, allow you to have this, these endless number of possibilities. Your imagination can run wild, and that's when you get parents like, wow, my kid's so smart, that kind of stuff, and that kind of falls to the wayside sometimes as you go through school. And we wanted to try to refocus on the very few limitations. They're very important, but those limitations create endless opportunities to make something new and start creating.
So kind of just talking about Johnnie Bennie Media as a whole, not a distinct branch yet, but what it offers students, anyone of all majors and grades here for Bennies and Johnnies, that we use the classroom as a learning base, whether it's in the communications department with a variety of classes. Media writing seems to be a popular one, or the design program, any of those, and kind of the video design aspect of it. But we see Johnnie Bennie Media as a valuable extension of the classroom to gain more real-world settings and being able to discuss current topics here right on campus for you to get involved with. And that you can express your ways in whatever way you seem fit, whether that is on air radio or video live production or video to tape production, whatever that may be, behind the screen or in front of the screen, whatever it may be. And then the limited requirements, as Michael kind of touched on, that there are a few guidelines we must meet as far as professionalism within the industry on a college level, making sure that what we produce is content specific, I guess, and it's kind of up to date and it's current news, and that it's going to, it's important to the current students and faculty and staff that make up the school, and we want stuff that's going to inform them and that's most important to them at the time. And then current members, as I said, they come from all grades and multiple majors here. We have a few of our members in here. A global business leadership major myself, communications over here, and and communications here. So we have a variety. I don't know any others that I think we have. We've got a couple different majors, education majors, science majors
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Political science, yes. And this helps us having these variety of majors, especially the political science. And then even, I guess, just like a physical sciences, we're able to get more packages and kind of, especially for the news side of it, and then news perspectives from what they learn in the classroom compared to like a communications major, and even mine with the business aspect. So. And then just some general takeaways that students can kind of gravitate and kind of gain from this experience, whether how long they are committed to the organization. There is no commitment. This is voluntary work that students feel that is very important to resumes, and just getting to be a part of something that does quality work and that has a large audience on campus. So it's not your average research report anymore. We're not writing a long 10-page research report researching. We're going out into the community, we're filming stuff, and then we're taking it back, editing and reviewing it, and then watching it over and over before we actually finalize and publish the whatever we choose to. And then ability to create video projects, as I said. This kind of comes, you can get the experience here and then be able to use that in the classroom, or start in the classroom and then be able to expand on it here. So getting to experience that, and then even with the radio and kind of that, being able to talk better, whether it is on news or radio, your professionalism grows and you become better and more confident as a professional speaker in a variety of settings. And writing for different audiences. If you're someone that likes to be a writer and not so much a speaker, you can do that for radio, news, and print across multiple different areas. Really helps with that, and I think Michael can attest to that later. And then probably the number one key thing is enhanced media literacy. Touching a camera, picking up a camera will be a lot easier for people. And knowing editing software, our main use is Final Cut Pro that we use, and knowing what that is and being able to talk about that to someone who's in the industry and does this for a career, and using, saying that, I've started working with it and I have a general background and idea of how to operate this equipment. So we feel those are most potent, kind of important takeaways for students.
So for Johnnie Bennie Campus News, we're a team of student news producers, and we create a weekly online video that captures the biggest campus news. And we also recently have added headline news, which is covering national news, local news, and global news. And that's something that was kind of my baby that I created coming into Johnnie Bennie Campus News. And we also have campus sports and politics. And with the news, students have full access to all materials that they need to make their visions possible, especially if they come to us with a potential package idea. We're there along the way to help them with anything they may need with writing, editing, any materials that they need to help rent out. And they're also, so like I said, they're able to rent out anything that they want and have full access to it. And we're just there to provide them with anything they may need along the way, producing video content, editing, and just providing them with the guidance that they need to make the vision that they have possible. A few examples that we have of packages, like I said, headline news. This is something where I came into Johnnie Bennie Campus News this September with an idea of it'd be kind of cool to have current events other than our campus news. And it was really just an idea, but with the help of the opportunities that I had here, it was really cool to make it happen and now see it grow and continue to be a segment on the news. So that's been a lot of fun for me personally. And we also have packages like Red Nation, which is our sports, and just all other segments that students have ideas for. And so just personally, being a part of Johnnie Bennie Campus News has been very gratifying for me, and it's been awesome seeing how much I've grown. I came into it in September really with no knowledge of the video production, editing, broadcasting. I just had a desire for it, and I came in and I've learned so much, and it's been a lot of fun just to watch myself grow and pick up a lot of the skills and techniques that I have. So it's really been an eye-opening experience for me, and I've really enjoyed my time learning a lot of the things that I have.
And so here we have 2 quick clips that we'll show you that have kind of been more successful or like time worthiness, and that were really a lot of time spent by not only Sarah but the rest of her staff and the editors and crew that made up. So we'll start with it. If you guys want to explain them.
Yeah, so this first package actually is one of our political anchors, Maddie
Last
Morris.
week, I sat down with political science professor and director of the McCarthy Center, Matt Lindstrom, to discuss the center, its role on campus, and where he sees it in the next 10 years.
If I were to tweet about the McCarthy Center's role, we are a venue for dialogue, for debate, for discussion about a whole range of public policy issues in a neutral space and a civil space. It's probably more than 140 characters, but that's the gist of it. # civic engagement.
So if I
And so for that package, that was really her idea. She came to me with this idea, and so we provided her with the materials she needed for it, and she really did a great job learning how to edit it, wrote her script, and it's really fun then after to see what you did. And then this next package that we have, this was our recent one on 3D printing.
3D printing is one of those technologies that is revolutionizing manufacturing and will be touching so many lives in so many areas, all the way from medical field, biomedical field, to education, design, and engineering. And I believe if we expose our students to this technology and then being able to use it, they'll have tremendous competitive advantage once they graduate.
This was Sarah Paddock with Johnnie Bennie Campus News. Make sure to tune in next time. Few of the packaging examples that we have, but just all in all, we really have a lot of opportunities for students, and there's really no experience needed. I can attest to that, and we just provide a lot of opportunities along the way and guidance. So it's a really fun way to get more media literate and get more experience in the field.
All right, on to productions. So productions is kind of a unique part of Johnnie Bennie Media in that we work with everybody. Whatever we need, anyone else needs, productions is there. So working with Campus News, we do 60 minutes style interviews. We do on-site news packages, so like the ones you just saw. We're working on a music production with KJNB to do kind of if anyone's familiar with SCSU's Monday Night Live, kind of mimicking that kind of experience. And then I had the pleasure of bringing a podcast that I started, Inspired Listening, to KJNB and Campus News to dedicate some time to telling stories about just anyone at St. John's and St. Ben's. So here's just like a little bit of what the episode might start.
Hello everyone, you are tuning into Inspired Listening, a show that is dedicated to telling the stories of anyone affiliated with the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University. I'm your host, Michael Swearingen. Let's get started.
I can skip ahead to
This was truly an all-women's school. The ratio of men to women at South Dakota State was 7-1. A year at South Dakota State went by before Ruth decided she missed St. Ben's too much. She loved the community, the one-on-one relationship with faculty, and she missed her friends. So she came back for her senior year. Ruther spent a lot of time at the Newman Center, and she says she's not afraid to say she had mostly male friends.
Well, this is the clincher here. It was the fellow I just happened to be going with, not as seriously, but we were kind of dating. He looked at me and he said, you know, I don't think you're going back just to go to college. I think you're going back to enter the monastery. That was my first conscious thinking of monastery. You know, I said, are you kidding me? But after he had said that to me, I kept thinking, what did he see in me that I missed? And I couldn't quit thinking about it after that.
Ruther began talking to priests at the Newman Center.
We'll talk about
They
this.
thought she might
Transitioning into my own experiences, I started out at the Record, doing a lot of news reporting. I worked on journalism a lot in high school, and then I was lucky enough to land a gig at NPR and the Gary Eichten Fellowship, which was the most amazing experience I've ever had. And it was a really great opportunity to learn how people are doing things in the real world. And so I wanted an opportunity to expand my abilities and to take them to the next level. So I started Inspired Listening to do kind of the NPR-style radio story. First at OMC, Office of Marketing and Communication, and then I brought that, after my summer internship doing that, to KJMB and Campus News, and that landed me my productions manager gig. And so you see this transition. First, I was a writer, and that's it. I didn't want to touch a camera, I didn't want to touch a recorder, I didn't want any of that. Then I went to NPR, and I rethought that a little bit because I had too much fun. And I started expanding my world of what media literacy could be and how I could, use my writing skills and take it to that next level. And eventually that brought me to wanting to do, video packages and telling stories that way. So that's kind of been my journey through Johnnie Bennie Media, and I would say that Johnnie Bennie Media, on top of NPR, has been an experience that has greatly expanded my ability to get a job or something like that, or enhance just how well I do things. So.
Yeah, so KJMB, so this has probably been the most involved year in KJMB that we've had, especially this semester, where we have 17 unique radio shows, and we've had a couple of just on the hour, just people that want to go down there and be on the air, and that's perfectly fine. So with KJMB, your only limitation is the Johnnie handbook. You can't do anything that would violate those rules. Anything else is fair game. And we have shows that range from politics to sports to just general talk shows. Just people want to go in there and play music. We've had shows talking about relationships and religion. It's an incredibly fail-safe environment because everything that you're doing is live. And that means that you're allowed to screw up. But I always tell somebody, if you're going to screw up, just do it 100% and correct yourself afterwards. And that's a lesson that I learned from sports broadcasting. You're going to say the wrong name, just say the wrong name and don't interrupt the flow. Saying that you're going to mess up, just go and correct yourself when it's appropriate. We've had some shows that have become very successful. Henry Dorgan has had a sports talk show. It's mostly sports focused, but this year he's had both presidents on his show for 2-hour interviews, and those have been incredibly successful and some of the highest viewership that this station has seen. With this coming year, we've added cameras and recording software into the station to allow us to archive and to reach a wider audience. This also allows us to have a better presence on social media and to offer other services to people that may want assistance with recording. And our biggest project upcoming is something that John and I had the idea of in last fall, who was the past manager who's returning, and that is to get live music into the studio and to broadcast it live and to record it and actually create a production. So it's a TV show / interview / recruitment for new bands. And what's kind of exciting is our first band that went in and tested it, the recordings that they got from our station actually were able to start getting gigs with it. So it was already rewarding. So move on to my personal experience. Here's a quick example of just like what the station looks like in action with Henry Dorgan.
Money for nothing, chicks for free. Money for nothing, chicks for
welcome to A Dose of Dorgan. Once again, I am not alone, as I usually am not. I like not being alone these days because I have trouble listening to my own voice throughout the day. I couldn't do it on the radio for an hour, and I don't think that you could either. Joining me is a 2014 graduate of Shakopee High School, go Sabres, all conference in high school, the reigning MIC.
So that's just kind of a feel of what the station looks like when somebody's on air, and it's always an exciting, rewarding experience to be on air. And for me, I've had the blessed opportunity to be able to build from scratch a great tradition, which has come from the past radio stations of St. John's University, and at one point it was the most popular and probably the only radio station in the area. And with KJMB, we've gotten an opportunity to rebuild that tradition and do it the way that we'd like. Also, I've gotten to work with former members of KSJU and NPR. More NPR currently as they're on campus this week. I got to meet individuals and build a network that way. I've gotten to start my own show, which is more simple when you are the manager of the station because you can just take whatever you want. But I think that was probably the most imminent thing of progress in my own life, because when we recorded the shows and we went back and watched the first ones and we're just like, oh, this is awful. As 3-4 episodes went by and your delivery gets better, the conviction you have when you're speaking, the surety in your voice, the ability to, even when you're maybe messing up, but make it sound good because you only really know you're messing up. So the experience that I know these radio shows are offering to the people beyond just speaking skills, but how to organize information, how to build a story, how to plan out an event, and then it's also led to I get to have my own production television show. We'll hopefully get our first episode done for the end of the semester, in which I'm calling it Looking for Talent, and that's the official name of it now. But it's going to be a fun experience because I love musicians, and there's really no other place on campus that could offer such a versatile experience to do so many different things.
Alrighty, so our fourth and final branch, stream team, probably not to kind of brag, but the highest viewership for a live broadcast of any kind on campus, with our large amounts we especially get for Johnny football in the fall, especially Tommy Johnny, where we've seen numbers of 7,000 to 10,000 unique viewers online watching that. And 3 years ago, this was started by Matt Fink. Very much credit to him, and I helped him in that process and took over for him, along with Kevin Conway, who kind of helped continuing to carry on this team. But with Stream Team, some of the unique things about it are I have a camera crew of people that are camera operators and directors, and I have people that are able to do both jobs with ease, and learning on the go has been one thing I'll talk about individually, but they get to choose where they want to position their shot for the broadcast that day, and being able to choose maybe a different one, testing one shot at one game and then changing. And that's kind of it's a lot of partnership between camera operators and the directors via the headsets you wear, and making sure that everyone is kind of good to go, everyone knows what's going on, and that it's collaboration. It's not one person giving all the direction, but that they're working together to create a great live production for Johnny fans all across the world. I mean, I wouldn't say just nationally, because you can access this anywhere via internet connection. So, and then the director free range to select the best shot that they seem fit at that time, and directing the camera operators to get what they would like to see from a shot, and being able to then see that live happening for a viewer, and then being satisfied knowing that, wow, that was really cool, that play, that last shot of the game, or that hit, or that whatever it may be, was really cool to see that. And then our ability to add in any pre-recorded segments. I was able to do an interview with Coach McKenzie before the MIAC playoff basketball game for the Johnnies. That was really cool to get insight from him, and satisfaction from these coaches, and then from St. John's athletics, that there is a high viewership for this and that they're satisfied and happy with what we are doing, and knowing that viewers actually like what we're providing them on a weekly, weekend basis, whatever it may be, depending on the sport. And then collaboration across branches. We show Johnnie Bennie Campus News in our productions to kind of fill some airtime, and so giving them a new audience besides only students who are marketed the most, but this is a new way for people to see our broadcast. And learning about stuff on campus as maybe a former alum who maybe is not as knowing what's going on campus, but are still somewhat involved, but this gives them a live student perspective of what's going on, even for the away team to see what's going on with our school compared to theirs. And then KGMB broadcasters used for Johnnie Baseball. Currently we're doing this. So partnering with Nick and his group to do that and giving people experience to do that. Currently we have broadcasters for all Blazer athletics, but Johnnie Athletics, we get it for exclusively for baseball during the regular season. So really cool aspect with that. And then being able to send highlight clips to news to show in their broadcast is kind of what we call B-roll in the industry. Talking over it would be an anchor, talking about how the last weekend's game went for the Johnnies or the Blazers. So really cool aspect with that, and I've seen it come a long ways in 3 years, and hoping that Michael Fry and the audience, new manager, will be taking over starting this summer in partnership with the other ones. But it's definitely come a long way, and it was kind of Matt Fink's kind of his baby a little bit, and I've helped kind of continue and carrying that on, and I think we're going to be around for a while with this team. So. And then here's a quick sample from last fall. If you remember, we hosted that playoff game, the big snowstorm, and we had to clear the field, and we hosted that first round game.
High formation, 4th and goal from the 1. Erdman under center, takes the snap, hands it to Kruger, and he is... They're saying he's short on no 4th and goal, no signal.
So that's kind of one cool thing. We get to do live playoff games like that, and there's different guidelines that we have to follow. That would be one thing that with any Division III broadcast, we have to follow rules set by the NCAA, especially during playoffs, and what can be shown on screen compared to what cannot be during the regular season. So there are a few guidelines for that, but as far as what we want to show, where our cameras and all of that, and what we want to show as far as news or any other packages are really cool with that. So personal experience, been a part of this 3 years in other branches, including for all my 4 years here. But being able to watch professional broadcasts in a different view now, not just a viewer who wants to watch the game for the heck of it, but like looking at camera shots, angles, and then maybe trying to use something similar to that in our own way here on campus. And then the whole aspect, learning on the go, getting to experience stuff. I went in right away here. This is me and Matt Fink in our football press box control room. We the first football game, I still kind of remember it, just kind of we went right for it a little bit. And it got better and better as the season went on that first year. And now by year 3 now, I think we're really hitting our stride and doing really well with each and every broadcast. And then practice in a variety of sports setting. I mean, we get to do soccer and football in the fall, basketball and wrestling, and some hockey, and then baseball. So getting to do high-paced sports, and then baseball a little slower pace and filling more shots and whatnot, and even basketball with timeouts and stuff like that. So, and now based on my experience here, a postgraduate internship this summer with the St. Cloud Rocks, building on my experiences here and getting more real-world experience to hopefully get into a career field in this area.
So looking to the future, we're extremely excited about our new area in the Learning Commons at Alcuin. Unfortunately, Cayman and Michael will be graduating. But we will have a video production area, an editing lab, and with the proximity to the library, there's just a lot more opportunities for assistance in editing, writing, and any other things you may have questions about. And it's really being embedded into our curriculum now, especially as we're finding that in every area, being media literate is very valuable. So having this new space will create a lot more opportunities for that, and also hands-on experience and application for what you're learning. So it's extremely exciting.
Yeah, also we have, in that area, we'll have a space to be able to record the bands that come in. It'll be a very high quality facility. Acoustics, more mic inputs, and better for recording. We also have we have 2 managers returning. Emily Webster, who is the past JCBN manager, will be returning to her position. Sarah Paddock will be taking over the campus productions, and John Lynn, who is the manager of KJMB in the fall semester, will be returning, and me and him will be teaming up to continue what we were working on into this semester.
And then the last one there, we have new in-game advertising that'll be started this next fall for Johnny Athletics, and being able to advertise and promote on our live streams online for viewers. And with that comes new responsibility, and I think we're going to be really happy and pleased with how that's going to go, and knowing that different tasks will have to be met and making sure that stuff is done well, but knowing that people are able to now advertise, and that we are becoming professional in that way, and a new way for Johnny Athletics to kind of promote, and giving their current advertisers of their sports a new way to advertise to a larger, wide audience that can't come to campus for game day.
So these are some of the photos of the blueprints of the Learning Commons and where we're going to be. And there's one more.
Let's look at the editing lab.
So yeah, I think this is downstairs. Will be really cool at Elkland Library, and being kind of our space to a certain extent for us to go in and be able to do the news, any productions type stuff, and then radio, like Nick said, live broadcasts like that. And then the hope is Stream Team to eventually, hopefully, be able to do all live broadcasts from there instead of moving from press box to press box, depending on the sport. So that just kind of wraps it up. We'd like to give thank you to Media Services, especially our advisor back there, Ethan Whitrock, who's countlessly always helped us, whatever it may be, in a variety of ways. I think we can all attest to that. And Josh Ackerman in there as well. And Kelly Berger, our advisor back there, serving as the faculty moderator. So a few of them, Adam Konchesky here, Adam Bauer, Aaron Ucky, Dan Siss, our technician, if I'm forgetting anyone, but but yeah, so very much thankful for this help, and I think year 2, and there's a very bright future for Johnnie Bennie Media.
Thanks, guys.